Hey everybody, today we're going to show you where to find the Fire Knight Queelign Spirit Ashes here in Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, so let's jump into it. So the very first thing that we need to do is make our way over to the small private altar site of grace, and we need to defeat the Fire Knight that's going to spawn over here in the courtyard. So from this site of grace, you're going to work your way through both doors and up the stairs. We're going to take a right. You'll have a pretty big enemy up here. You don't need to fight him. You can continuously run if you don't want to take the time. But we're going to work our way towards this really old tree in the middle of this courtyard. And if you haven't already done so, if you run to the far back right side, standing right around where we're running to, the Fire Knight will spawn in and you'll be able to attack it. And this will be the first of 2 times that you actually need to defeat this Fire Knight. After you've defeated the Fire Knight, the next thing you need to do is make your way over to the Church of the Crusade. You can see that location here on your map. And the Fire Knight is going to spawn up there at the church for a second time. And it's very important that you come up here and defeat her, as once you beat her for the second time, you will be rewarded with the key to the prayer room, which is what we're going to have to use to be able to go and get the spirit ashes. So after you've defeated the Fire Knight for the second time, your reward will be the key to the prayer room. The next item that we're going to need is going to be the Iris of Grace. And to get that, we're going to make our way over to the storehouse first floor side of grace. You can see here on your screen. From here, we're going to take a left and then another left and go into this room back here where the lift is. And we're going to hop on this lift and take this all the way down to the bottom. So go ahead and ride this underneath the Shadow Keep. And once you make your way down here to the bottom, we're going to go straight through this doorway right here in front of us. And we're going to take a right. And then we're going to take the very first left. And from this balcony, we're going to jump off. Now, you're going to have a couple enemies down here. You can fight them if you want. You don't necessarily need to. But after you take out this enemy right here, you're going to see an item right beside us on the ground. We're going to go ahead and pick that up, and that is going to be the Iris of Grace that we need to be able to get the Spirit Ashes. The last thing we need to do is go and pick up the Spirit Ashes, and to do that, we're going to make our way over to the Church District entrance side of Grace on the northeastern side of the Shadow Keep. From this side of Grace, we're going to go straight and jump onto this rooftop here. We can take a left or a right to go to the other side. It doesn't necessarily matter. But once we get over here, we're going to jump from this rooftop to the other. Go ahead and sprint jump across. We're going to stay on the outer wall here. You will have several enemies in this area if you haven't already been over here. You don't actually need to fight really any of them, but we're going to jump onto this roof here. We're going to defeat the one enemy that's up here just so that we don't get hit when we're trying to jump across. So you can go ahead and defeat this little Fire Knight. And then once you take him out, we're going to jump down here to this rooftop and we'll jump across onto this ledge here. Be very careful when doing this not to fall. But once you're here, we're going to climb up to the top of this roof. We're going to drop down inside the hole. You can see that here. Then we're going to go over to the back left, and really you can drop down wherever. But what we're going to do is go jump in this hole and then take a left, and we're going to go down this hallway. And this door that's at the end of the hallway, we're going to use the prayer room key to open it. So now that you've killed the Fire Knight twice, you'll be able to open that door and come inside. You're going to see the NPC laying in the back on the floor. Speak with the NPC and then give them the Iris of Grace that we collected a second ago. And once you do, it'll cue a little animation, exhaust the rest of the dialogue from the NPC. And once you do, you will be rewarded with the Fire Knight Queelign Spirit Ashes. But this is where you're going to be able to find the Fire Knight Queelign Spirit Ashes here in Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. Hopefully this video helped some of you guys out. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next one.